and welcome to day 3 of the Lead Generation Challenge. I was just singing to The Greatest Showman, The Greatest Show. Of course, I was. How are you doing today? It is another beautiful day in Orlando, Florida, and I am so grateful. If the weather's like this in the winter, then I might be able to handle 6 months of summer. Um, how are you doing today? Welcome to day 3. Hey, Emma. Hey, Kelly and other people that I can't see names. Hey, Leah. Hey, Lucia. How's everyone doing on day 3? I am pumped to talk today about your lead magnet. This is crucial stuff. So I'm super pumped. How are you doing with the homework so far? And as always, we'll have Q&A. So not only am I pregnant, I also have a huge thing of tea and a huge thing of water. So if you're wondering why I pee 5 million times in a day, that's why. That is why. Hey, Amy. Hey, Sarah. Hey, Leah. How you guys doing? It's snowy. Come to Orlando. We got sunshine all over the place. Well, let's start with a fun fact so we can get to know each other a little bit better. So, fun fact about me is I've never had like a real job, like a 9 to 5. In college, I worked for at my mom's company, doing data entry and processing. It was like I wanted to rip my eyeballs out. I felt like I was trapped in the cubicle, and I just wanted to like break down the walls and jump out. And that's when I was like, I'm not meant for this 9 to 5 thing. I seriously think I only lasted 4 hours every day before I was about to scream and run far away. I've had internships and that kind of thing with social work, but never a real job. I went from going to grad school to not finding a job, which was a blessing in disguise, to being an entrepreneur. So tell me something about you. Leah, you're not behind at all. You got time to catch up, girl. You're so good. That's pregnancy for you, I know. Not only do I pee all the time because I'm pregnant, I also drink a ton of water, so it's my fault. Danielle says homework is good. This is the specific thing I'm looking to learn for you most out of this challenge. Cool. So make sure you have questions because I'm here for you. I want to help you crush this. Hey, Catherine in the UK. Oh my God, you're Chandler. I'll take that. I don't know what you mean, but I'll take it. I'm definitely awkward and strange. So, okay, so let's talk about your freebie. And this is really the first step that after a customer or after a potential customer's, at your blog or watching a Facebook Live video or they're interacting with you, you have the chance to get them on your email list. And obviously you're here because you want to learn how to build your email list, right? Like this is so important. And typically lead magnets, there's like a million words for this. So I hope not to confuse you, but to simplify things, you could call it a lead magnet, a freebie, an opt-in, a freemium. So if you hear all these things, they are the exact same thing. It's basically you're offering something for free in exchange for someone's name and email address. Okay. And so typically lead magnets don't work because one, maybe you're not giving enough value in the freebie or the perceived value isn't enough to give someone your email address. It could be just the copy on the freebie itself. Maybe it doesn't work because it's not building up to the right offer. So we can talk about that too. So let's talk about how you can make a lead magnet that's just really valuable, one, and it's going to turn that person into a raving fan, potential client, all that good stuff. So lead generation, right? It has 3 core principles. We're going to give value, we're going to build trust, and we're going to make an offer. Okay. And so typically when people struggle, it's because they're creating a lead magnet based off of what you think your audience needs. And if you haven't done market research yet, that really is foundational. Like that's the first thing I have all my students in Activate do. Like we start with the market research because it's really hard to create a freebie if you don't know what your people want. It's really important that you know what their struggles are, what their pain points are, what their hopes are, what their desires are, so you can create something. So when they see it, they're thinking, dang, like this is perfect. This is exactly what I need. You also want to make sure that your freebie is in line with what it is that you intend to offer. And it's okay if you don't have an offer just yet, but you're definitely going to want to create one. Some of my students have asked, can I do a challenge that leads, just to nothing, just a list building challenge? And I always say, no, like you need to sell at the end of the challenge something. It could be private time with you, it could be a group program, could be a course. Because after people have gone through the process of like a challenge or a webinar or something like that, they want that next step. And so you got to deliver on that next step. Otherwise, they're going to be left hanging and they want to work with you, right? And so, what is your end goal? And I'll give you an example of, because I've had two different businesses. My first with my fitness business, I had a bunch of different freebies. The ones that worked the best for me, my free keto grocery list was one that worked really well. My free keto meal plan worked really well too. And those led to my keto ebook that I was selling and also a course. Okay. And so for this business, my end course that people can start with, or like the offer, let's say, is Pin with Purpose. That's my Pinterest course. Okay, so the free thing that I offer, we have two different free things that lead to Pin with Purpose, my Pinterest course, right? We have our Pinterest cheat sheet. That's just a simple PDF teaching 10 smart strategies on how to get more leads with Pinterest. And then our Pinterest webinar. Okay, so you want to make sure that whatever it is that your end offer is, everything relates. And so think about what is that offer and then reverse engineer it. Okay, is this making sense? Because if you don't have an offer yet, you're going to want to create one. Go from like hot flashes to freezing. Telling you, pregnant life. I'm a hot box right now. Oh, Sarah, I met your Chandler because you did data and entry analysis. Got it. I thought you meant I'm Chandler because I'm a dork and I'm that too. Yeah, data entry and statistical analysis, not my strong suit. Not my strong suit. Okay, let me check out the comments. Danielle says, fun fact, I've replaced a full-time job income through what most people consider network marketing, where I've learned in that arena helped me build my current social media business that I'm scaling. I'm proud to say I'm actively diversifying my income. No, that's amazing. And so I think a lot of people, network marketing has a bad rap, and I'm so grateful for my network marketing background because I wouldn't be here today if it weren't for network marketing, because I didn't consider myself like an entrepreneur, and I learned so much and grew so much from that. So much sense is being made. Okay, good. It sounds a lot like menopause. Yeah, female hormones, let me tell you. Okay. So you want to make sure, one, we're getting super crystal clear on the results that we're trying to create with our offer that we're going to provide for our ideal clients. And then we're going to create that lead magnet with that in mind. And so I'll give you a few examples of different lead magnets that we have for this business. I'll put them in the chat for you. It's just rachelandgom.com/cheat sheet. And then our free Pinterest class. And so those are free different opt-ins that you can get. One is just a simple PDF and the other is our free Pinterest class. Okay. And so your freebie could be a million different things. So I'm going to give you a whole list of options that you could create. The whole goal of this freebie is to give your audience a quick win and lead them to the what's next. You don't want to just leave them hanging. Like there should be a clear what's next. So it could be join this webinar, book a call from that freebie. So the freebie could be a PDF, simple PDF. Don't overthink this. I made my PDF in Canva, free, super simple. You can outsource this for like $10 for someone to do for you and make it look super pretty on fiverr.com. It could be a video, and it could be like a 5-minute video. It could be a checklist, a spreadsheet, a cheat sheet, a calendar, a coupon code. So if you have physical products, it could be like a coupon code or free shipping or something like that. Maybe it's an audio training. You really like creating audio content. Maybe it's for them to join a private community and get access to some kind of private community. Could be a quiz. One of our past Activate students, that's actually her specialty, is creating quizzes as lead magnets. So if you want to create a quiz, let me know and I'll hook you up with Jo Ellis. She's freaking awesome. She can create a quiz as your freebie. It could be a video series. So maybe a series of like 3 different videos leading to a paid offer. It could be a webinar. you could repurpose blog content. So some of like my very first freebie, I just took a blog post that worked really well and I turned that into, I just created a PDF out of it and turned that into my freebie. So don't overthink this. It doesn't have to be hard. Just pick something. And I literally want you to have this done if you can by Friday. Because a lot of times what happens is people are over analyzing everything in their head. And I don't want you to do that. I want you to take freaking messy action and just get a freebie done. Get that freebie done. Okay, could be a calculation. So I think of like accountants. You could create some kind of calculation spreadsheet, something like that. You could have a wait list for your offer. And so when people want to join Activate, we actually have them get on a wait list because we're not always open, right? It could be a free trial. It could be a book sample. So get chapter 1 of my new book that's launching. Could be free shipping. It could be expert tips in a certain area. Maybe you gather like 5 different experts and have them give tips when it relates to whatever it is that you're offering. It could be a 5-day challenge. So I just gave you like a million different ideas. I want you to pick one. Pick one and run with it. So again, the goal of the freebie, give them a quick win. It doesn't have to be this super elaborate, crazy thing. You want them to be able to just like go through it, digest it, implement it right away. And you, in their heads, like you want them to think, wow, I can't believe this is free. Her paid stuff must be amazing. And this is really going to help warm up your audience for future sales. Okay, so that's what I want you to do for your homework today. If you haven't yet, I want you to think, what's the number one product or offer that you want to sell? And then outline a freebie that's going to lead to that offer. And then decide what you're going to offer. Could it be, again, like the PDF, video, audio, webinar, whatever it is that you want to do. So talk to me. What are you offering? Okay, questions. Danielle, I've made my freebie offer as download your free guide, 7 simple tips to improve your social media strategy, a PDF guide. I do public speaking regularly. I'm very comfortable in front of the camera, so consider doing a webinar to go to the PDF. How long should a webinar be to add value to a full 6-module course? I always suggest webinars be about an hour, but it's not necessarily how long, it's how much value are you providing in that webinar. Webinars, there's an art to doing a really good webinar. There's quite a lot that goes into it, especially like psychological. See, that's what happens when I drink too much sparkling water. Sorry. Like psychologically, that goes into a webinar. I would do like 60-minute webinar and yeah, so the first like 45 minutes, value, value, value. Last 15 could be pitch and then Q&A. What tool do you use for the quiz? Tryinteract.com is a software that you can use for creating a quiz. Sherry, messy action. It's okay if you can't do it by this Friday, but by next Friday. I don't want you to sit on this and be like, that's a good idea. I should have done this from the challenge, and it never gets done. Like, I want you to be fast, messy action takers. You don't have to know all the answers. It's like entrepreneurship. I think of it like kind of like this. Like you're jumping out of an airplane and you're like, I hope the parachute goes. And I wouldn't actually do that, but that's kind of what it is. Like you have an idea, you run with it, and you figure it out as you go. It's okay not to have all the answers, and you can always go back and make your freebie better as you get to know your audience a little bit more. Sarah, you could do a live Q&A, but you would probably want to do that recording and offer that recording as your freebie, just because you want this to be something that's evergreen that people could sign up for whenever. So you're always building your email list. Okay, Synergy Solutions. I don't get the waitlist as a lead magnet. Please clarify. So we have created just a simple landing page. Let me see if I can actually pull this up. Hold on, I'm coming. Let me see if this is our waitlist page. Yes, okay. So this right here is our waitlist page for Activate. And so when people go to this landing page, they can enter their name and email and get on the wait list for that program. Suzanne says, I made a ton of lead magnets. My problem is my reach is so small that most people don't see the magnet, so it doesn't help. How do you get your freebie in front of people? To use ads? I feel like freebies don't help if you have no audience. So yes, and this is the thing. I don't want you creating a million different lead magnets. I want you doing one and tweaking it until you get it converting at about 50%. And if you're using a program like Lead Pages, I recommend Lead Pages to start with. It's only 25 bucks a month. Other programs can be a lot more expensive to create your lead magnet, like that page that you see. So I would create that and just tweak it until you get a high enough conversion. And then getting in front of people, blogging, Pinterest, first place to start. Like that's how we built our email list by over 20,000 for free. Obviously, ads help. And as soon as we had money coming in from like private clients and I was doing Pinterest management when we first started this business, I put it into ads just because I knew how powerful they can be to help you grow your email list. And I saw that return on investment immediately. But I would start with blogging and Pinterest. And then, I mean, we talked about a few other things already, like Facebook Live interviews, swaps getting on podcasts. I want you to pick one though. Pick one thing. Okay, Michelle, takeaway that should have be a no-brainer, but I've yet to completely do this. Where am I starting and where do I want to end? Where do I want to take my clients? This challenge is really helping me take the time to do this, where in the past I've just been wondering. I've made a couple of freebies and I've seen amazing results, but be even better when I actually have a goal. Yes, if you know where you want them to end up, like imagine that, like you have so much power when you actually do this, for sure. Yes, Danielle, thank you. Good. Giselle says this is getting clearer and clearer. Woohoo! Awesome. Okay, Leah says I'm going to offer a 3-day video challenge to teach about tracking your cycles and cycling food to support balancing your hormones. So that'll lead that into either one-on-one coaching or my group program. Perfect. Yeah, I love that. In the beginning, you could offer one-on-one coaching or a group program, and then I would like to see you have some kind of course that you offer as well, just because you're going to get maxed out on your private time. And yeah, you don't have more than one you, right? So as soon as I started getting maxed out my private time, I was like, you need to have a course or something where you can leverage your time. You don't want to be trading time for money, for sure. Kate says, I'm an artist, so I thought that would be good for me to offer a digital image, which can be used as a screensaver, but I don't see myself being able to talk about my paintings in a webinar. Any suggestions? So I've actually worked with an artist, Kennel Lewis. He's awesome. He offered like printables that people could print out of his art, and he was also teaching people how to do art. So it was like coloring things that he offered as well as like a coupon code. How far ahead of my launch should this be offered? As far ahead as you can do. The longer the runway to the launch, the more successful the launch is going to be. So I would start this at least 1 to 2 months in advance. Live webinar pre-recorded, always live until you have really good conversion numbers and then go to pre-recorded. And so we didn't have an evergreen webinar for Pin with Purpose. I did probably 20 to 30 live webinars until I was really happy with how that webinar turned out. And then we made it evergreen. And now it sells every single day. It's magical, magical. How do you create the capture page if you don't yet have an email list step by step? Do I need a VA to set up this page? If you're not techie, then you might want to. If you use something like Lead Pages, it's really, really not hard. And I can get you guys a free 14-day trial of Lead Pages if you want. It's literally, they have the template that's proven to convert that works really well. And you just have to edit it and edit the colors and edit the text. So it's not like you're coding or anything like that. Like I can't do that stuff, but I can do Lead Pages. And for me, it's really easy. I do recommend getting a virtual assistant as soon as you possibly can, just because it's going to save you a ton of time. And this is absolutely something that you could outsource for sure. Heather, where do you offer the next step for the freebie in the welcome email and the freebie on the thank you page? All the above. So we have our next steps on the thank you page. In the freebie, on the very last page, we have a call to action of what we want them to do. And in our email series as well, we tell them what to do. Whew, oh my goodness, I have like 30 something comments to catch up on. Whew, okay, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. You guys have some good questions. This is great. I already have the 30 days to a better me freebie, but now I'm thinking give a PDF with 3 questions, get clear on their goals, and that would be what they want or what your goals. Sure. I mean, that's something you could totally test. Michelle, I have a 4-year guide to preparing your homeschooler for college that I've given for free. I like that. I like that. Like, that's perfect. Um, I also have a webinar that I've done in the past at a homeschool online conference. Would this be a good freebie that leads to a webinar that I would charge for? Depends on what you want your offer to be. Do you want that webinar to be a paid webinar or do you want that to be a free webinar? Because you could do either one. You could do a free webinar leading to a paid offer, or you could have that freebie and lead to that webinar. If it's going to if the class that you're talking about, if it's going to be more than $197, you're going to need to sell it with a webinar. Sorry, Catherine, I didn't mean to miss your question. There's like a million of them. My freebies call to action is to book a discovery call with me leading to one-on-one coaching. Should I send them straight to the call booking page or to a work with me page that explains more about what working with me would look like? I don't want to lose them, but perhaps they're not warmed up enough yet. Good question. I would send them to the call booking page and then you could have them fill out an application based off of that. The more warmed up they are, the easier it's going to be for you to convert them on that call, just so you know. Emma says, I have a freebie 3-part mini course for beginner writers. At the end of this, they have the option to go on a wait list for a 6-module course I'm launching next year, again, for beginner writers. Cool, cool, cool. All right, Mallory says, I'm an intuitive healer and a business coach. Could I do this sequence? Webinar, free 20-minute one-on-one breakthrough session with me, upsell to either full session, low end, or 6-month coaching package, high end? Yes. So your call to action from that webinar could totally be to book a call with you. And on that call, that's where you could sell that coaching package for sure. Sandy, is it okay in here to ask the VAs to please reach out to me and share their expertise and rate? Totally. We have a lot of VAs in this challenge. So you guys reach out to Sandy and let me get you guys that discount code for lead pages. It looked like you wanted it. Resources. And keep asking your questions. You got some good ones. Hey, welcome, Brandy. Okay, so here is my resources page, and you can see I would just do lead pages for sure. For sure. Oh, hey, Kristen. Kristen's on. Welcome, you guys. All right, keep asking your questions, dude. I'm here for you. Take advantage of this time. And I still have to pick a winner for today's $25 gift card to Amazon. It's so fun giving these away. You are welcome, Sandy. Yeah, I mean, you guys, there's some really good networking that you could be doing within this group, so take advantage of that. Michelle, what do you consider when you decide what the cost would be for a webinar and consultations? What's your hourly rate? So first decide what your hourly rate would be. And then when it comes to like charging and pricing for a course, I tend to think like, what's the value of this transformation? So is it worth $9.97 for them to pay for this course when this is their outcome? And like, yes, if a year from now they'll be making 6 figures, it's worth them to go through this, right? So always think about what's the value of that transformation. Erica, what do you recommend for webinar hosting? We use Webinar Jam and EverWebinar. So those are all within the same kind of platform. So Webinar Jam for live webinars, EverWebinar for our evergreen webinar. You can get started with Zoom webinar though, it's cheaper. So either one. And then if you have no budget, then just Facebook group. I would open up a Facebook group and go live in there. Sherry, what do you think of starting with a PLR? What's a PLR? And modifying if you don't have a budget for a VA. You have to tell me what a PLR is. What's a PLR, dude? That's something I probably should know. I don't know. How many follow-up emails do you send before you put them in the not interested now pile? We don't. We keep following up with them. We have like a nurture email sequence that we have them run through, and then once they go through those initial emails, then we put them into our regular email sequence. Let me see. Do I use Kajabi? I do. I didn't start with Kajabi though. Uh-oh, my husband's calling. Ah, let me send him a quick message. So I use Kajabi now, but I didn't start with Kajabi. So I don't want you guys to think that you have to use like a million different platforms for your business, because you don't, and I didn't when I started. I started with Thinkific because it's free. And then as soon as we were making money from our courses, then I decided to upgrade and get Kajabi. Hold on, husband. Okay. Tracy Ann, I'm an herbalist and aromatherapist. Would a PDF guide on 5 backyard herbs for menopause health be a decent freebie opt-in? For sure, if your target audience is a pre-menopausal woman or menopausal woman. PLR is content license for you to use as your own. So let me go back to your original question. Oh, I would create your own content for sure. Okay, Kimberly, can you share any pros and cons for MailerLite and Active Campaign for the low end options? I know MailerLite has a free version. Active Campaign starts at $9. Seems like MailerLite offers more than the $9 version of Active Campaign. I have not used MailerLite, so I can't tell you. I can tell you that we do use Active Campaign and love it. There's a ton of functionality. What I think MailerLite, from my understanding, is that it's good when you're getting started, but when you want to do more complex automations and taggings and all of that stuff, it's not as good as Active Campaign. And so in the beginning it might be good, but I would just start with Active Campaign because it's kind of a pain to move everything over. And if it's $9 a month, like for me, I think it's worth it, but it's up to you. I have some of my students start with MailChimp because it's free, and then they upgrade and move over to Active Campaign. So it's really up to you. I'll just tell you that we use Active Campaign. We love it. We have a bunch of tutorials for our students on how to use it and how to set up automations and all that stuff. Other questions? You got some good ones. Giselle said, I would caution on the not interested pilot purchase from someone a full year after getting their emails. And I've been in Rachel's group, I think, for more than a year. And this is my first paid option. I'm thinking of getting more. See? So, yeah, we never move people to a not interested. The only thing that we do, and this might be like super advanced for some of you who are new and you're just like, shoo, way over my head. That's okay. You will get there, and this will make sense like a year from now. What we do if people don't open our emails at all, with I think it's 60 or 90 days, we have them set up in an automatic sequence where we actually will send them emails and then remove them from our list if they don't open those emails, because otherwise you're just paying to have people on your list that aren't even opening or seeing your emails. But like Giselle said, like you don't want to get rid of them if they're actually opening it, because it like repetition is the mother of skill, or like it takes a lot of different touch it points for someone to just have a moment and something resonates where they're like, I need this now. So they might not be ready, but they will be like a year from now. So I wouldn't get rid of them if they're actually rating stuff. Sherry, what about MailChimp? Anyone have an option on that? I have students that have used MailChimp. I know like when you're just getting started, it could be fine. Kimberly, I don't think you can do any pop-ups with Active Campaign $9 version. You should use Lead Pages for that. So Lead Pages has a thing called Lead Boxes. And with Lead Boxes, you can create really good quality pop-ups like the ones that we have on our website. All right, Michelle says, my customers are usually one income families and are always looking for ways to save money. So I don't know by experience yet, but I feel that if I charge too much, they won't pay for it. Be careful having that as your ideal client just because you want people to be able to actually pay for your services. And so I wouldn't target someone who doesn't have any money. Okay. Emma has an unrelated question. You mentioned yesterday that You get up at 4:45 a.m. Do you stay up all day? Do you nap in the afternoon? I'm not an early riser, but I feel time pressured and I'm looking to find an extra hour or two in the day. I think a 5 a.m. wake up may be the end of me. Okay, so I don't wake up at 4:45 every day, and especially being pregnant, I'm really just like listening to my body and honoring my body. But ideally, I'm up between 5 and 6 a.m. and I get that time before my son wakes up where I have a solid hour to myself. And that's when I'm reading, I'm journaling. I finished my 1 year Bible finally. It took me 3 years, but I did today at 4:45 this morning. So I go to bed early. I'm in bed literally between 8 and 9 o'clock, usually asleep by 9 so I can get up at 5. And I find that if I stay up later than 9, it's basically pointless because I'm probably like on Netflix or YouTube doing something that's not the best use of my time. So I've been pretty disciplined to make sure I'm in bed asleep by that time so I can wake up earlier and have that really good start to my day. If you haven't gone through my Infinite Growth Challenge, I wish we could do like a hybrid where I could teach you guys some of the principles of the Infinite Growth Challenge because there's so many mindset things that all of us need to get us unstuck. So if you guys want tomorrow, maybe I could add in some things on limiting beliefs and that kind of thing. Let me know if you want, because that's something I know some of my students have gone through the Infinite Growth Challenge and it just like unlocks something in them and they just take over the world. But yeah, get up early. A really good book to start is The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod, and I get up early. I make my coffee, drink water, read the Bible. I'll read a good book. And then I have here, right there, is my prayer closet. So I go in there and it's literally I just light a candle and I sit, pray, meditate, listen to worship music. It's fun when my son wakes up early and then he crawls in there with me and does it with me. And then I write out my goals, like what do I want to accomplish in the first person. So those are just a few of the things that I do in the morning before, typically before TJ wakes up. He's been sleeping like crazy since he got the flu. I've been putting him in bed at 7 and then having to wake him up at 7:30. It's insane. But yeah, I hope that answers your question. Get up early and I swear it'll change your life. Okay, Emma says I use ConvertKit. They're a lot cheaper than Kajabi, but do a lot of the same things. The downside is that their landing pages aren't as good, nor do they host online courses. Other than that, I would recommend them. Yeah, ConvertKit could be good for like an email marketing platform, but you don't want to skimp the place where like I totally understand bootstrapping and want to do things as cheaply as possible because I was in that same position. The one thing I did pay for was lead pages, 25 bucks a month, and that for me is so worth it because your email list is the most valuable asset that you own and you have to be very intentional about growing that in your business. Just imagine having the power to send like this to me is just blows my mind. Being able to send a few emails to your list as an affiliate. Like this is what I did last year. I sent a few emails to my list as an affiliate for a course, made an extra $15,000 from a few emails to my list. And so I just want you to understand the power of what it is that you're learning here when you do this. And so don't skimp on having a really good opt-in page like using lead pages. Now, I don't recommend like getting started with ClickFunnels or something like that because that starts at like $100 a month. And I get it. You need to stay on budget. 25 bucks a month, do it. Like so worth it. Okay. Catherine, unrelated question. How do you increase engagement in a Facebook group? I have fewer than 30 people in there at the moment, and it's really hard work. Get more people in there. Check out my friend Christina Gendali. This is like her secret sauce. We had her on our podcast. So it's one of the earlier episodes of the She's Making an Impact podcast, probably the first 20 episodes. I would check there to get started with Facebook group engagement. She's awesome. I adore her. Okay, Kelly, what are your thoughts on offering a simple one-page freebie or something more extensive like an e-guide? I've been told before that it needs to be consumed easily. Give them a quick win, but I find it hard to give good value in a one-page thing. I've created some sobriety habit trackers, and I'm also going to do one page fear buster workout, but I think I want to create something more substantial too. It could be more than one page. Like you want it to be easy for them to digest, but if you think in your head it has to be one page, then you try to cram everything in and then the font's going to be tiny. Like I've seen people do this. Like it can be 10 pages, you know, like, and they could get really good value from it. So don't think you have to limit yourself. Thanks, Kate. I was really proud. Okay, so you guys want me to add, we can do limiting beliefs tomorrow if you guys want. I'll post some bonus stuff for sure. Kimberly says, try waking up a few minutes earlier every day. We can slowly get there. I now get up at 3:15, but I didn't make that change all at once. Yeah, for those of you guys who are not morning people, literally set your alarm if you use an alarm 15 minutes earlier, like this week, and then 15 minutes earlier next week. Sherry needs to revisit the Infinite Growth Challenge. Yep, it's good. That's my favorite challenge. So good. Oh, Michelle has a prayer closet too. Awesome. Yeah, when I saw when we were getting this house, I'm like, I have a closet in my office and it's all to myself. Amanda missed it, but what email platform did you recommend? Active Campaign. And I posted a link where you can get a 14-day free trial. Okay. Catherine says we don't have closets in the UK. Dude, okay, I know because I lived in France for 2 years. We had one tiny little closet by the door when you walked in for our coats, and that was it. And so I'm in like closet heaven in this house. It is crazy. Um, Amanda, would you pair lead pages with MailChimp or MailerLite? Either one depends on which one that you go with. Personally prefer Active Campaign, so you would pair lead pages with Active Campaign. Okay, Erica, I'm getting confused with all these platforms. I'm sorry. Trying to make this as simple as possible. Okay, we're using Weebly for our website, Constant Contact for our automation landing page. What do you recommend for first course host site that is economical? Thinkific is free, but just know that it's not the most professional looking option because they're going to get an email that says enter, like sign up for this free course. And so I've had a few people being like, this is free, I paid for it. So you get what you pay for, but in the beginning I didn't have the $100 a month, so we use Kajabi now, but we did use Thinkific to start with. I would just have that and be like, in 3 months I'm using the money from my course to invest in Kajabi. Mallory, do you have a link to access the Infinite Growth Challenge? No, it's something that we do. We'll probably do it again at like June or July or something like that, but I'll teach some of the principles of it tomorrow if you guys want. Michelle, maybe I missed it, but would you be willing to share one of your lead pages? Yep, I already did, but I'll do it again. I will do it again. Sherry says Thinkific has changed a lot. That wasn't my experience with my first course. Cool. Maybe they've gotten better. I don't know. This was like 2 years ago when I first started. At what point do you charge for your freebie? We don't. We do not charge for our freebie. We keep this free. I have thought about in the past taking like a past challenge and then charging for it. But what we've ended up doing is including like the Infinite Growth Challenge. Like my students can go back and access that if they wanted to. Carrie, does a course from Thinkific transfer over to Kajabi? No, you have to manually do it all. So what I would suggest when you create your course, put everything into Google Drive. We have everything really like laid out, like focused, like in a folder, module 1 folder, another folder, module 2, so that someone on our team could easily upload it over to Kajabi. Oh, change your freebie. Sorry, I thought you said charge. Sorry. You it depends. I mean, like if it's converting really well, you don't have to change it. You want your freebie to convert, and you'll see this in lead pages when you sign up. You'll see on the back end your conversion numbers. So you'll be able to see I had 100 people see this page, 50 people opt in, which is great. You want at least 50% opt in. If it's working, we've had our Pinterest cheat sheet 2+ years. We're not changing it because it converts really, really well. And it's a really great way to get people into our ecosystem. You could add another one. So we've added challenges and webinars and stuff on top of that, but you don't need to have like a million different freebies. Like it's complicated. Have you turned your challenge into a freebie, like a self-paced program? Heather, we have not. Um, Typically because that challenge will lead to something that is a special promo offer and the doors will close to that. Um, so like if we're leading a challenge going to Activate, the doors are not always open for Activate. And so they would be like going through it, getting excited, wanting to join the program, and then they'd have to get on the wait list. So we haven't. I think the ones that we have right now work really well. You could try it. I mean, marketing is all about testing stuff. And so a lot of times I'll tell you something, but then I'll also say there's no like perfect way or completely right or wrong way to do something. And so I would test it, see if it works with your audience. You just don't know. Erica, I really appreciate your transparency on numbers, conversion expectations. So helpful. You're welcome. I am very transparent with everything in my business. Like, I have no reason to hide anything. If it helps, I will share it. Mallory, where do you host your live webinars? Just on Zoom, and then on lead pages, will they have the option to choose the webinar time after the live webinars? Are you sending out the recordings? Okay, so this is where tech becomes a little tricky. So the easiest platform to do live webinars is Webinar Jam, because you could have everything all in there. You could even set up emails in there, and it's pretty seamless with how it integrates with everything. If you're doing it on Zoom and like having them opt in from lead pages to Zoom, with lead pages, yeah, you will have different webinar times. I'm trying to think of if we did that in the past before we even did Webinar Jam. You might have like two different buttons for different times, because Webinar Jam, you can literally drop down and select a time. I'm pretty sure you'd be able to figure that out with lead pages. And then, yes, if you record it on Zoom, you could just upload it, get the recording, and send it out. If you do it on Webinar Jam, they store the recording and it's literally sent out with those emails automatically. So it's possible to do it with Zoom. It's just harder. It's a lot harder. Sherry, do you always have a wait list after a promo, or do you have offers that are evergreen, just go back to the regular price? Good question. Um, for Activate, we do. We do, because we're not always open and we always have people asking us about joining that program. For Pin with Purpose, we don't. So they can purchase on our website full price, or when they go through our webinar, they can get it at a discount. Makes sense. You guys have some really good questions today. This is fun. Other questions? Oh, and let me pick a winner for our gift card. Let me scroll, 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 scroll. Gonna find somebody. Amanda Koval, send me your email address and I'll send you 25 bucks on Amazon. Who do you offer Activate? So Activate's my group program where I'm teaching you like in depth what we're going through here. And so building an email list, creating, launching your online course, doing webinars, doing challenges, all that stuff. So for the person who wants to do that, right? If you want to do physical products, Activate's probably not going to be the best fit for you unless you want to add another income stream to your physical product, which I do highly, highly, highly recommend diversifying your income. So for the person who wants to basically do what I've been able to do, create a killer online business, scale it without trading time for money, Activate for sure. Amanda, at what point did you start your second business? Yeah, so I started my fitness business in 2011. It's a baby. And then I started this business August of 2017. Happy birthday, Angela. How often do I offer Activate? Depends. So we are offering it now for our next round that'll start in the new year. After that, I don't know. I could not tell you. Kind of depends on baby, due in March, how I feel and all of that stuff. We could do another round mid-year, but I don't know. Mallory, when would you invite them to join the Facebook group? Would that be a part of the funnel at all? You could totally include that in the funnel if you wanted that to be a part of your funnel. Like you could have that be on the thank you page if you wanted to join the Facebook group. That could be your first email, join the Facebook group. It's totally up to you. I think we have it in our funnel, probably like our third or fourth email. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look. But yeah, I would. I would. What other questions do you have? Anything, anything? Okay, so tomorrow I will post bonus part 2 infinite growth homework on limiting beliefs. And for those of you who want to dive in deeper to that, we can go through that tomorrow after regular scheduled content and all that good stuff. Erin, I still have to record my course, but what you're saying, it's all right to put out a freebie that gets people on the wait list to get in once the course is open. Would you need then to keep sending them freebies to keep them enticed, or is that enough to write blog posts and share those in the meantime? Yeah, you don't need to keep sending them freebies, just create value added content. So it could be your blog post, it could be, there's a million different things that you could email your list, but you don't need to keep sending them freebies. That's a lot of work. And I wouldn't record your course until you sell it. So pre-sell that course, do a webinar, get money in the bank, and then create it. How do I learn more about Activate? Good question. I can get you the link to book a call. Let me find out where that link is and we can chat about it. Ariana sent it to me, so let me find it. Got it. There you go. Mallory, what service are you using for the texting during the challenge? It's not your actual cell phone, right? No. It is not my actual cell phone. I wouldn't do that. We use Scipio. It's a text messaging platform. Again, these are things I did not do when I first started my business. So I don't want you to think you have to have all these millions of things in place at once, because you don't. And that's one of the things that I really do within Activate, is try to simplify everything for you. And so you don't need all these things. You don't have to do text messaging. Um, it's something you could get to eventually, but you don't need to do it right away. But we're using Scipio for that. Any other questions? So tomorrow we'll do a little bit infinite growth after our scheduled content. Which we'll be talking about your content calendar, which will be really fun. And then Friday, remember, we got bonus masterclass where we've got some really good stuff to go through about 2020, planning out your year, your income goals, lead generation goals, all that good stuff. Okay. So I will let you guys go, get to your homework, share it in the group. I'm super proud of you and I can't wait to see you tomorrow. So have an amazing day. I'll talk to you guys later.